Welcome back to Conversations with Chris. I am Chris, your favorite host. If you don't have a favorite one, that could be me. I'm your favorite host, your favorite coach, whatever you have in your life. You're missing a favorite, I'd like to apply. So today I'm joined by Drew Berman. He's an international speaker, a best-selling author, peak performance strategist, and here's my thing, a self-proclaimed chief fun officer, which if anybody knows me, you know that it's very close to my heart. And so this guy has biked 20,000 miles through 35 countries, built a team of over 15,000 entrepreneurs, and now he helps people design a life of freedom using the law of attraction and proven success principles. His superpower? Protecting what matters most, your family, your home, your money, and your business. Drew, welcome to the show. Let's have some fun, man.
You are officially my favorite host. So happy to see you again. And it's great to see you in person and in virtual and live and traveling all over the country. We just talked about hanging out in San Diego, and now we're going to see you in Las Vegas, which is amazing.
Yeah, we just met in San Diego at the NARP event. It was fantastic. And we know we have so many common connections and know so many of the same people. And I'm really surprised that our paths have not crossed until that point in San Diego.
Well, I did recognize some famous people in your morning clip and some people that I know. So obviously you swim in great circle. So it's going to be fun to do some things together. I know we're masterminding behind the scenes about how we're going to have more impact, make more money, serve more clients. So it's exciting. And I'm happy to be here with you this morning.
It's always a great thing. So let me ask you, so we talk about, you have this adventure mindset, right? And you have that that around the world bike tour, 35 countries, 20,000 miles. That's awesome. Like, what would you say is the biggest inner shift that came from that experience?
I mean, that's my favorite conversation, and I can talk about it for hours or minutes. I'll give you the high level overview, but you know, I found cycling in 1996. I was 24 years old. And Tanqueray Gin was sponsoring the Boston to New York AIDS ride. And I had AIDS was just kind of like prevalent. My uncle had passed from AIDS, and I signed up. I didn't own a bike, know how to bike. And I ended up doing it 4 times, 3 times Boston to New York, 1 time North Carolina, DC. I became a cyclist. I raised over $10,000 for AIDS services back in the 90s, and I became part of the community, and a brochure landed on my desk, on my lap, to ride around the world. It had never been done before or since, and it was called Odyssey 2000, and we left January 1st, 2000 to January 1st, 2001, and we did 35 countries, 200 cyclists, and 18 international flights. Raleigh provided a bike. And it was, I was 28, and it was amazing. And I can't stop the memories. And anytime someone asks about it, it brings out my happy. And thank you for reminding me that I did indeed bike around the world.
Well, that's fun. It's something I think everybody can connect with. I mean, you talk about chasing the feeling of freedom, right?
Yeah.
So out of that, how can someone who feels stuck tap back into that feeling without needing to go halfway around the world?
Yeah, I mean, I did a live this morning from the gym. Everything starts with physicality. When you change, Tony Robbins says when you change your state, so anything can happen on an instant snap. Yep. And when you move the body, it creates energy, and energy followed by words. And I just heard on a master class, this morning, I'm still listening to personal development. That's right. What follows I am follows me. I am wealthy. I am a people connector. I am worthy. I am connecting with top professionals. People want to work with me. People want to invest with me. And so your words, your physicality, and old school. Here, do this with me. This is old school Tony Robbins. Arms wide out.
That's right.
Shoulders back, head up, smile, and now be angry and depressed. You can't do it, right?
I would say, man, you can't be upset if you're smiling. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So you mentioned CFO, Chief Fun Officer, came up with that, 10 or 20 years ago. I'm probably not the originator of it, but it feels like it serves my soul. If people see CFO, it gives you kind of a little fun branding. And then you're like, yeah, I'm the Chief Fun Officer. So I always get a chuckle, and it kind of works.
It's awesome. You mentioned in your bio failing for 5 years before finding success. What do you think finally clicked for you?
I want to be on that poster, the one that, when you Google famous people that had lots of failures, and you'll find Oprah and Michael Jordan and Abraham Lincoln and Colonel Sanders. I think a lot of people know those stories. And success doesn't just happen. I mean, it does for some, but I mean, yesterday I was on another webinar with a guy that does, done for you stuff. And he's like, oh, I paid, $1 million for these ads, and I paid $200,000 for this class. So it's like stacking. What I'm good at is I try to remind people, and I'm really good, Chris, at reminding people when they were at their best. So there's a famous thing, Tony Robbins, Andre Agassi walks into his office and he instantly has attitude like he was when he was at the peak of his athletic performance. And Tony just cut that off at the knees. He's like, I want to show you 2 clips. And he showed him a clip of when he dominated a match, and then he showed him a clip of when he got crushed in the match. And he's like, what were you thinking right there? And he brings him back to the moment he thought he was going to absolutely dominate on the tennis court. So when I partner up with someone in business, and I just try to remind them, when were you at your best? Was it 7 years old in ballet? Was it 15-year-old in soccer? Was it when you were a mom? Was it when you were a doctor? Like, when were you at your best? And I just got hammered with a life lesson. I'm 53, my son's 20, and he interviewed for Wall Street for 18 months in advance for a Wall Street internship. And he got it in investment banking.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, in private equity. And he says, my wife says to me, he's going to have to work, 80 to 100 hours a week. And I thought for a minute, I said, why do you think that's any different for me and my profession? Just because I'm 53 doesn't mean I can just lollygag now. So yeah, hard work, dedication. It's all the bumper stickers, right?
Yeah.
Hard work, dedication, smile before you dial, add more value. And I had on my board just the other day, I had, if you've lost your way, it's because you're focusing on yourself, not your impact. So yeah. Success is about serving other people.
Well, like for 5 years, it's not like you stayed the course. It's not like you kept switching gears and saying, well, that didn't work. It was kind of like, consistency. I mean, you focused and you had some consistency over time because you believed in this thing and the impact that it was going to have on other people.
Yeah. So and I had some tire kicking moments and some tearful days, but, stay steady, stay on. And now I'm getting asked to speak. I mean, I just found out tomorrow I'm going to be speaking in front of 100 realtors locally here in town, which is what a blessing.
That's awesome. Yeah, Bob. Tell him I said hello. And that's a great thing. Yeah, I remember when I first started getting asked to speak and everything. It was like that's what made me have to get out of company leadership because it was like that was the thing that was holding me down. My coach at the time said, "Chris, what are you saying yes to that's making you say no to shit that you really want to do and that you're gonna have an impact with?" And I realized it was running. Office leadership was being underneath one roof. And like what your wife was saying about your son working 80 hours a week, maybe it feels different because that's almost like a job. It's a great one, but people look at it different when an entrepreneur, people expect an entrepreneur a lot of the times to grind 80 hours a week. But you've built multiple businesses and helped thousands of entrepreneurs. So what's a common thread that drives success across all of them?
Mindset, belief, affirmations. I taught one principle, which is still one of my favorites to this day. Here, you do it with me, right? So I teach binoculars, blinders.
Okay.
Binoculars on the goal.
You gotcha.
Blinders on the distractions. And all distractions are equal. What's a distraction? When your mom calls, that's a distraction. When the plumbing breaks, that's a distraction. When you have to mow the lawn, that's a distraction. When multiple businesses enter your peripheral and you're not focused, you're not true north, those are distractions. Now, how do you do that? Well, you answer the call when you're mom, you develop relationships, you set parameters, you teach your clients, your prospects, your business partners, your family, how to treat you, and time blocking and true north. What's your true north? What's your impact? Yep. What's the outcome? And what's your grit? My biggest challenge is I believe people. So when people tell me what they want, my gut tells them what they have to do to get it. And then then they ghost me for 3 months. I'm like, oh, you didn't really want the truth. You just kind of wanted that. And my analogy is, the marathon. I kind of wanted to do a marathon for a long time until I signed up for a marathon. And then I started running. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. And then like it was knee pain, and then it was joint pain. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, getting up earlier. Now I'm like running 3 miles, now 5 miles. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my nutrition's changing. And then all of a sudden I look at the calendar. I'm like, oh my God, I spent 15 hours this week either stretching or doing yoga or doing weights or running. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even a runner. And I put 15 hours in. Where were those 15 hours before? Well, I just prioritized it. And then fist bump, I ran a marathon. Right. So that's one of the things that I have on my belt. I did the New York City Marathon in 2018. It was amazing.
I love that. It's and you said it's kind of it really comes down to mindset. So you're big on the law of attraction. I've seen that in the time that we've spent together. I've seen it manifest in your life. What are some practical ways people can use it daily beyond vision boards and affirmations?
Yeah, so I have 4 questions that summarize 20 years of law of attraction, all the books I've read. I've been teaching this for 20 years. No one's proved me wrong yet. It comes down to 4 questions. It's the law of attraction in a white box and red bulb. I'm going to gift it to you. Question number 1, who are my ideal clients? Right? So now it could be my ideal partners, my ideal investors, but everyone understands clients. Who are my ideal clients, right? Most people don't even get that far. Oh, because I remember I come from the home-based business arena. I used to coach people who did skincare. I'm like, who's your client? They're like, anyone with skin. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. If you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. So really, who are your ideal clients? Even you're a great coach. Maybe you coach moms. Maybe you coach athletes. Maybe you coach doctors. Maybe you coach baby boomers. Maybe you coach millionaires. Maybe you coach them all, but there's a sweet spot. There's one that you can really serve. They pay you, they like you, you're good at it. Question number 2. What makes them tick? Like, hello, what are they concerned about? What are their problems? What are their challenges? What keeps them up at night? Are they wanting to make $1 million, or are they wanting to get out of debt? Are they wanting to get rid of their job, or are they wanting to buy a boat? Are they wanting to play golf, or are they wanting to, retire their wife? And if you don't know what makes them tick, then you're just a salesman and you want to solve their problems. Question number 3 is, well, where are they? Well, what does that mean? Well, if you know who they are and you know what their problem is, do you know where they are? Mm-hmm. Like, are they on Facebook? Are they in your neighborhood? Are they at the Chamber of Commerce? Are they at conventions? Are they at peak performance seminar? Are they at Tony Robbins events? Mm-hmm. And then the 4th question really kicks people in the gut, because it all comes down to this. If you know who they are and you know what makes them think or tick or upset, and you know what they want and you know where they are, well, what do I have to do to change, improve, or do more of or less of to attract more of them? What do I have to do? Who do I have to become to attract more of those people? And then the master class is, if you write down those 4 questions and then you answer them in a different color, and then you read it every morning and every night, in 90 days, you won't even recognize your life, and you'll start attracting your perfect client or spouse or partner or investor, because you're going to become the person that they're looking for, because you know their problems and you know where they are and you know how to solve their problems, and you're the guy that they're looking for. That's the law of attraction.
It's you built a 15,000 person team. So, I like these are really practical strategies and things you're giving people. So that's awesome. Like, let me ask you, what other systems or habits helped you personally enroll 800 people and grow a 15,000 person team?
Yeah. Habits for sure. Language patterns, learning what language words are red flag words, versus what are opening listening words. Are you interested in us meeting? Would you be open if I can show you a solution? Like that little tweak. One of the greatest shifts I've ever had is I stopped. Well, first of all, I stopped. I went from selling to serving. So that was a clear transition. But I was in a product business, and it just like I got struck by lightning. I instantly went out of the product business and I went into the people development business. I instantly stopped offering the product as a service and started talking about the vision of the owner of the company as my new partner. And it was a health and wellness system. And it just hit me one day. I was like, instead of saying, Chris, you want to try this health and wellness system so you can lose weight and feel healthier? I said, Chris, you're a pretty strategic business guy. I just met a woman. She might be a billionaire. I'm not sure. Her business is expanding nationally. I'm not sure if it's a fit, but can you give me your feedback on something real quick? Like that shift changed my whole life. I just made myself the partner of the owner of the company because they had a global vision. I was like, and I rallied around that. That changed everything for me.
That's awesome. It's a lot of passion there. How have you helped people turn passion and personal development into profit? I mean, it's because we know a lot of people in the that are personal development junkies, and they kind of never click over into figuring out how to monetize. I mean, we're very lucky. We love what we do every day. So how do you help people turn passion and personal development into profits?
Yeah, raise your prices. So I'm going to get a T-shirt that says I'm retired now. If you want to talk to me, pay me a consultant fee. So I found, there's an expression when we grew up, like, follow your passion, you'll never have to work again. Mm-hmm. I saw that shift when my wife bought a spinning studio. She loved spinning, so she bought a spinning studio. That became her business. But then she might have lost the passion of the spinning along the way because then she had a job, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a huge success, big town success. She sold it to make a lot of money, which is awesome. So my philosophy is maybe don't pursue your passion. Maybe find the fastest financial vehicle to make the biggest impact and make the most money in the least amount of time so that you can pursue your passion. That's another part of the same stick. It's so I found the financial sector. I don't know how I found the financial sector, but it landed on my lap. And I've taken all my sales and marketing skills into the world of peak performance and financial development. So now what I do is I work with an estate planning attorney, and I got licensed. I'm licensed in 15 states as a financial professional. And I sit with people and I help them build their empire financially. We build a financial house. So we make sure that their structure is sound, their debt is covered, their emergency fund exists, their retirement plan happens, their whole house is properly insured, and they have a will, trust, and estate plan so that they don't have to have a GoFundMe if someone dies. So I'm licensed, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in front of realtors tomorrow is how to get your financial house in order while you're building your empire.
That's kind of the ingredients to your freedom by design, what you're talking about.
Freedom by Design. In my new book, it's called Go All In, which is a book about wealth creation, legacy, and financial freedom. And
by the way, after this, we can add a link. We can add a link to that book, and Drew's easy to get in touch with, and we'll add a link to that so that people will be able to get a copy if they like.
Amazing, I appreciate that. So passion, purpose, grit, all that, meditation, God, prayer, all that. True North, time blocking, all that, prospecting, recruiting, selling, all that. And guys like you, and me, like you just help people put it all together because sometimes it's a mess.
If we could figure it out. So I know you got to go in a couple minutes here, but if there's one thing you had to tell a new entrepreneur, or if you had to start over today, what would you go back and tell yourself? What advice would you give yourself to a new or struggling entrepreneur?
Go from struggling to serving. If you're struggling, you're looking inward. Go help people with a problem, and your problems go away. And the truth is, the more people you help get what they want, the more you get what you want. That rule never changes. It never gets old. It never gets stale. And go true north. Be authentic. when you're out and about, and stop trying to please everyone everywhere all the time.
Lots of wisdom in there, lots of wise words. We got 3 minutes left. Do we have time for a 5-question lightning round?
Yes, sir. Go.
Quick hitters. You ready? Okay. Coffee or green juice?
Definitely coffee.
Favorite country from your bike trip?
Norway and the hills, but I do love green juice.
One word that describes your coaching style?
Honest.
What's your personal definition of freedom?
Getting to work be play, play be work, and do it from have a laptop lifestyle from anywhere in the world.
I love that. And the last one, life is too short to
not be on Wheel of Fortune. So I am going to be on Wheel of Fortune.
Who's the host of Wheel of Fortune these days?
I am taller than him. His name is Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, I love Ryan Seacrest. Excellent.
Yeah.
Man, that guy doesn't stop. That guy's the busiest man in show business. I think he's working hard for sure. Yeah. He's from Atlanta. He's from Georgia.
That might be true. And Vanna has done over 4,000 Wheel of Fortune shows.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. I always thought that was like, what a great job that is. You know, it's like you get to turn the letters.
Yeah.
Smile all the time. It sounds like fun. Like, I'm so glad I have this job. Yes. Yeah. It's a good thing. Awesome. Is there anything I'm not asking you that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah. Get a coach. Chris is a good candidate for that. He could be your favorite coach. It blows my mind that people don't have a coach in 2025.
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday with some
people. And focus on what you want. The first time I heard the whisper was maybe 8 or 10 years old. I was walking home from elementary school, and I heard the whisper, and it just said very simply, 2 steps to life, and figure out what you want, figure out how to get it. I was like, oh. I didn't remember that till my mid-30s, and then that's been kind of my true north for my whole life.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing so many nuggets, so many good pearls of wisdom in there. And like I said, we'll go back and we'll comment on this. We'll put some links for people to be able to connect with you and your book. And I know you're really easy to get in touch with. So if anybody has anything they want to reach out to Drew about, you're right here. You're all over. So
DrewBerman.com is where I live.
Go crush it. Go crush it at the for those realtors. They need the help, I'm sure. And we'll talk soon. See everybody out there in the virtual world. Peace out, everybody.
Looking forward to it, Chris. Be great.
Bye.